All right, what's up, guys? Farzin Vasugan here with you at halftime to recap the first half. Kind of an interesting ending there with the Broncos wanting to kick that 60-yard field goal. McCole Hardman, listen, once he went very close to the sidelines and then was going the opposite direction, I thought there was a chance he would go in, but they stopped him. Like the effort there, but nonetheless, the Chiefs are down right now at halftime, 14-10. A better defensive outing to end the game right there, not let them get close to making that field goal right there. Defense has been kind of they were great the first two drives, but then the remaining three drives afterwards, Denver just kind of had their way with the Chiefs. I mean, if there was another minute left on the clock for the second quarter there, Denver might have been able to get at the very least much closer. I don't know about a touchdown, but could have gotten closer. Trent McDuffie, probably his worst game so far as a Kansas City Chief in his career. But I think overall, and I've said this many times, halftime adjustments, this is what Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo are very good at. I do think the Chiefs offense, the last two drives, definitely the last drive, were much better. Kind of struggled in the red zone there, but found a way to get in eventually and got Kelsey with that franchise record-tying touchdown catch there. And Kelsey playing great, 6 catches for 53 yards in this one and a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, he's been getting involved, not as many yards though. Kareem Hunt, kind of a quiet day on the ground, but that's kind of been the story with him in the first half of a lot of these games. So I'm really interested to see how the Chiefs want to use that rushing attack in the second half and see if that'll improve and be better. Listen, Kingsley Suamataia, he's back and he's struggling, unfortunately. Meanwhile, you have on the defensive side, I don't know. The defense just looks out of sorts there. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I keep seeing the linebackers go up to the defensive lineman and kind of tap them on the hip, telling them to move closer to the inside. I don't know. I mean, you see that a lot in the NFL, but I just feel like we're seeing that more frequently in this game than we are any other game. But still another half of football, 30 minutes left to go in this one. The good news is the Chiefs do get the ball to start the second half. That touchdown right there, and I do agree with the call to go for it because you cannot go into halftime 14-6. You just could not afford that. You get that touchdown right there. It's a 4-point deficit going into halftime. And then the Chiefs do get the ball to start the second half. Chiefs have not been very good on opening half possessions coming out of the locker room after halftime. So I'm really interested to see what the Chiefs are going to do to hopefully get the football and end it with a touchdown drive to take the lead in this one here. And that would be their first lead of the game. I think if you're Patrick Mahomes, first of all, the offensive tackle woes, especially with Kingsley Suamataia, not Wanya Morris, who's out with a knee injury right now, but Jawan Taylor. I don't think Jawan Taylor has been terrible, not great, but not as bad as maybe he was in the past, or at least the last couple of games, including this first half year. I just think with Kingsley, I mean, you got to give him some help. And I think Trent Green mentioned on the broadcast how on one of the sacks he allowed, or almost allowed, not that there was any excuse for it, but he must have thought that he might have had tight end help or running back help of some sort in that situation there. Considering he has not done very well in pass blocking this season, I would hope that the Chiefs consider putting a running back or a tight end close to him just to be ready in those situations, because unfortunately Kingsley has not been able to step up in those situations, and he just hasn't done well, if we're being completely honest about that situation there. But overall, I think Patrick Mahomes doing a good job finding guys down the field. 16 of 20 in this game, only 4 incompletions in the first half. Not bad at all. I like what I'm seeing from Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce continuing to get involved. Obviously had a very slow start to the season. And what we saw from Travis Kelce the first 3 games, not even close to what we're seeing the last few games. Travis Kelce definitely playing much better. DeAndre Hopkins would like to get him more involved. He only had 3 catches. Thought he would have had maybe another catch or 2. Was targeted on that third down, the third and goal play right before the 4th down touchdown throw to Kelsey. But hopefully they can get that figured out. I'm a little concerned about Xavier Worthy. I mean, you guys know me. I can be patient with newcomers. But man, a guy like Xavier Worthy, who had a lot of that hype, and he's one of the league leaders among rookies in touchdowns scored. But some of the skill set with this guy, kind of a concern. I'm not saying he's a bust. I think it's way too early to even say that. But I think the fact that he's had 0 catches in the last 6 quarters for the Chiefs is definitely a concern. I know it's been close. He had one in and out of his hands, and this one on Monday night had the situation where he was just barely out of bounds. But I don't know. You'd like to see this guy get more involved, because you would think that even with all these wide receivers and running backs you're missing, that he would be the guy that would get involved a lot more. But we're not seeing that right now. So hopefully the Chiefs can find a way to get Xavier Worthy more involved, because if he does, I do think that can be a big difference maker for your offense. We haven't seen the Chiefs try to run it with him with the reverse, because they've been doing that way too many times. And that eventually, coaches watch game film and yeah, a lot of you guys are in agreement with the Xavier Worthy stuff. Yeah, again, Rashee Rice, keep in mind, and I would have to pull up the numbers to draw the comparison here to be exact, but Rashee Rice got off to a fairly slow start last year too. And the thing about Rice last year as a rookie, he was committing a lot of fumbles. So I think the Chiefs, they'll get that figured out. I mean, there's no way you can have a guy like Xavier Worthy on the team and for his skill set to not come to fruition in this offense. I mean, I know the Chiefs have drafted speedsters before and they just haven't panned out, at least not all of them. But you got to hope a guy like Xavier Worthy does, because you're going to need him down the stretch, because you don't know for a fact if Hollywood Brown's going to come back. And if he does, is he going to be 100% healthy? So I'd like to see Xavier Worthy get more involved in the second half. I think the one big criticism I have of the Chiefs defense, you saw a couple of the DB blitzes, and you guys know me, I bring this up a lot with Spags. Those work a lot. Those work really well. And by the way, just to remind you, Bo Nix is a rookie. Bo Nix is a rookie. So you can do things in this game that Bo Nix hasn't seen before in the NFL. Maybe you've seen them on tape, or maybe you've seen them in the college game, but it's a much different animal in the NFL. So hopefully the Chiefs defense can come up with some creative blitz packages here and throw Bo Nix off his game a bit and force some of those ill-advised passes, because if you do that, that's where you get turnovers, which, something the Chiefs have not forced a lot of this year, really even last year as well. So that would be a nice thing to see for the Chiefs defense. Another thing too, 5 drives to 4. Only 1 drive difference there. Obviously the Chiefs will have their 5th drive to open up the second half. 192 total yards. Yeah, you definitely would think the defense would be a little better than that. Chiefs offense, when it comes to their third down and their red zone, Chiefs have been very good on third down. I think they started off like 2 of 2 on third down. Since then, they've been 1 of 5. They're 3 of 7 in the game. That is not very good. Denver, meanwhile, they're 3 of 5 on third down. So third down on both sides of the ball has really been the glaring weakness for the Chiefs. So that was the one area where I hope the Chiefs can definitely improve, because I think that'll make a big difference as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. Appreciate you guys joining me for this halftime live stream. Come back after the game. We will do the Chiefs Zone podcast live. We'll take your video calls. I'll provide the link. Turn on your video, your audio on your laptop, tablet, phone, whatever it is you want to call in with, and we will chat it up after the game for the Chiefs Zone podcast post-game edition. And hopefully we'll be talking about the Chiefs going to 9-0. If they go 9-0, they'll have a winning season every single year under Andy Reid. They'll get that 9th win. But hopefully it'll happen today. All right, guys, I'm out. Enjoy the rest of the game. I'll talk to you afterwards.